Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our EGM Securities update. I got Kevin with me. Kevin, what is going on? Equity markets, dumping, panic, blood on the streets. Heavy, real panic.
Yeah. What I'm really interested in, our favorite oil.
So we've been looking at this several times. That is the four-year high, $86, right? Everybody was talking triple digit. That was each headline I was reading.
Correct.
And today we're at $76. What's going on?
Look at that. Just look at that from a tech perspective.
Yes. What's it telling you?
So I could see a head and shoulders form there.
Yes.
We saw a lot of resistance around this. And actually, let me just show you something that's even more interesting. If I pull up the daily chart,
yes,
just to show you, we go back 2017, and I want to show you some levels that are very interesting. If you look at this resistance level,
yes,
this bounce offs.
Yes.
You've seen a lot of bounce offs. Comes back,
yes,
back, bounce off.
And that is since when? Since about
this
April?
Is April.
Yes.
So this 76 level, 75 level.
But what happens if it doesn't hold, right? I mean, then
you've got I honestly think this is a big sell-off opportunity on oil.
You think it's going lower?
I would target 70.
I mean, imagine if Trump
Brent.
dumps some stuff from the reserve. You're going to freak everybody out.
We've seen U.S. oil is at a 10.9 million barrels production per day, still remained constant. I was just looking at some data around global trade, what you call dry cargo movement, amount of trade that's happening on the
is that slowing down?
That's slowing down, so it could possibly mean that global oil demand is actually tapering off. So
yes,
it's something that somebody should be careful about, and I think this critical level of 70 on Brent is something that you'd want to look at. I would definitely consider a short, and I'm actually thinking that you could get 10% here, because if you've
another
got $5,
10%, because we've already had 10.
You've already had 10.
Yes.
You get another $5 move. It's looking bearish.
And that's against quite a unsteady geopolitical situation. Saudi Arabia, Iran being cut off.
Correct.
So it's quite interesting
November
that
4th,
such a powerful move
it could really be.
So
a
you're
correction.
calling it lower?
I think it's going to get lower.
Yes.
I think there's still legs on this all the way towards 70 as well.
We got Kanaiya. Kanaiya, you are a trader here in Nairobi, and we've just been having a discussion. And you've got some bold calls, haven't you? You're going to show us, this is WTI. Tell us what this is telling you and what your target is.
Okay, so for now we're looking at the WTI on the daily. My honest opinion with oil recently, starting in June down to August to what's happening now, especially in the last few weeks, in the first week of August, has been very interesting to me. Oil normally is driven by supply and demand. We know that. The Emiratis run the show. But in reality, we know what's been happening towards the end of September when Khashoggi went missing.
Yes.
And now Trump has been talking about how they need to prove that he's dead.
Yes.
And then he moved to talking about we need to maintain Saudi and U.S. ties.
But he also said it was the worst cover-up in history.
Exactly.
Yes.
You saw the footage that was happening here and there. Coming here to US oil, coming to WTI, I believe this move over here is not organic. This is not a price action move.
So what you're talking about is you're telling me that the Saudis in particular are trying to assuage Trump.
Exactly.
To calm him down.
Exactly.
And by bringing the price of oil dramatically lower, which also makes sense because there's an election for Trump. And the worst thing is having high oil prices because people fill the car twice a week.
Exactly.
Very interesting. I mean, this is the intersection between geopolitics and commodities, and oil has always been very geopolitical.
Exactly. And to add on to that, a normal technical guy would look at this high, this again, double top, just been broken, but we're heading down. No. But if you look down at the volumes, if someone goes into a volume chart, they will realize that this move is not organic. This is pure price manipulation. This is pure price action. The price of oil does not drop this much, especially there is no issue with supply or demand. On top of that, globally, despite oil dropping from 76 to 66, good $10 in half a month, we're still paying the same prices we're paying for fuel, petrol, diesel, and the likes. Ask yourself why. So I believe this move is fundamentally driven, and why something you've said that's very important, something you've said that has really caught my attention is that they're trying to assuade it. You know, they're trying to convince this guy, look, ABCD has happened, but you know, let me give you something. So globally, everybody's looking at the 64, 65
but
level.
you are talking to me about 60.
And I dare say 60, because 60 is not a fundamental level. 60 is a volume level. This level right here was tested 3-4 times throughout.
When was it tested? Early in the year?
Yeah, throughout the first week of Feb to mid-March. It was tested about 3-4 times and rallied up. Pin bar formed right there, volume, normal price action. I believe this is a very strong supply zone. I believe a lot of individuals and a lot of banks have.
Would you be selling it here at 66?
I would. I've been selling it for the last 2-3 weeks. I've been short. But I will stop being bearish around this zone at around 62.5, 63, because now when the dust settles, the numbers come in. So I believe I'm short right now. I wish I could show you. I've been short since 70. Right now short at 66. I'm looking to liquidate at the swing high at 68 and take another half position to maybe 64. Sit on it, see what happens. I'll be back in at 60.
Is it the same story in Brent crude? Because really, theoretically, it should be exactly the same pattern, shouldn't it?
Theoretically. But I'll tell you something, though.
Yes.
Look at the pattern on that.
Okay, so another $10 move from the high.
Exactly.
Yes.
But look at it closely.
Yes, I am.
This right here, after 2-3 retests, failed break of the low, this is a very organic price move. However, the same did not happen with US oil. US oil came down, completely broke the low, trapped a lot of traders here, stop losses were hit, we rallied up. Assuming mid-August and July, this should have been a good area to sell again and hit the next low. But they were hit by a bar like that. A bar like that does not indicate volume. A bar like that indicates price manipulation. What happened?
Just, you know, you've been making this interesting point.
Yeah.
What is that? What are you looking at bar? It's thin, is it, or what's the signal there when you say it's price manipulation? What are you looking at?
Okay, my type of trading, the way I trade.
Yes.
I choose to not look at the bar. I look at what's happening in the bar. Price action is the result. Liquidity and volume are the constants, or what forms a price bar. So what's really happening in the price bar is what's important. There's a reason why a bar like this formed, opened below the previous close. That's a gap. That's the first sign of price manipulation. You get a big bullish bar, obviously closed bullish, right above over there. So a lot of people, I can say, got in long here to try and hit the 75.
And they get
Others,
caught.
Exactly. Others decided, okay, we're still going short, went short, and then this happened again. The reason for that...
Was that an organic move?
Yes, starting around here. Starting around here was organic. The reason for that is because all the stop losses here were liquidated and all the stops here were liquidated. So there was enough volume, there was enough liquidity for the market to move. 70% of the time, it's organic. 30% of the time, it's manipulated. The real question is when this is happening. But this doesn't happen on the daily. This happens on lower time frames, 5 minutes and the 1 minute chart. However, this has been happening in oil, because for the last 2 months, what's been happening in oil? Brent and WTI has been fundamentally driven, and what you said was absolutely true. All I'm trying to do is put it on a chart and tell you this is the result.
But are you as bearish here? Are you looking for? Are we coming down? And you're looking for 60 here, right?
I'm looking for 60 before a reverse or a breakthrough.
Yeah.
But I believe 60 is also the technically correct number. It's a retest of the March numbers, and number 2, it's cheaper for the state to get it. So maybe this is where they'll shake hands and say, okay, fine, good. Let's sweep it under the rug. Let's move on with life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on that.
Definitely.
Yeah.